Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
So picture this for a sec. You want to change up the look of your home. You want just something a little bit different, maybe freshen it up. You're thinking, you know what? I spent a lot of time here. I deserve it. You go to a store or you start looking online and you're seeing things, but you're really not sure what you want. And you don't want something that's going to be outdated. What is trending right now in interior design? We're going to talk about that today. And it's so great to have her back here for a number of reasons, of which we'll get to in just a moment. She's the woman behind the Luxury Look LLC. Kristine Vowles is on the program. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Let me change that for just a moment. I meant to say the award-winning Luxury Look LLC. Congratulations on the awards you guys just won.
Yeah, two gold. We're excited.
Wow. Tell us about that.
So the house that we featured in the before and after on this show, I think 2 episodes ago, we submitted it for renovation projects for the Remodeling Association.
Mm-hmm.
And we won 2 gold awards, one for the house, the complete house, and then another gold award for the bathroom and the kitchen combined.
When these awards take place, do you submit to them? And if so, how do you decide which of your projects? Or is it just, let's throw them all out there, see what happens?
We only submitted the one, but we have a company that we collaborate with that does our remodeling. So it's kind of like our construction crew. They submitted multiple jobs where that they had done throughout the year, and they won a total of 9 awards. And 2 of those awards was the house that we did together. And then that one house that we did together helped them in securing Remodeler of the Year. So both of us companies, we have a lot to celebrate. We're really, really thrilled about it. So we just found that out 2 days ago. So we're trying to figure out how we're gonna announce that to the world. Well, I guess I am right now.
There you go. Thank you. Hey, I'm your first. That's wonderful. Congrats. That's huge. And how interesting. Out of all the projects, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Just kind of random. We just picked anyone, and that was the one that won. Wow. So yeah, if you want to check that out, a couple of shows back. It's fantastic. Wow, good for you. More to come. More to come.
Yeah.
Trends. Let's dig into what's trending right now. And I'm just going to randomly pull things out that I've heard, that I see. I believe they're trends, but set me straight on that. In terms of color, I'm seeing what they call jewel tones. A lot of those around. What are jewel tones? Let's explain that for everybody. And how big are they right now?
They're huge. Color trends change about every 5 to 7 years. And so we are now back into the greens, the soft blues. Like back in the 80s, when you said that the trends were greens and blues, they were the dark side of it. It was like the hunter green and the navy blues. Now we're looking at the softest blues and the softest greens in various shades. So, say we're going to do a gray, it'll be a taupey gray with a hint of green, or a gray that will be leaning a little bit more towards the blue. So you can have the grays, the taupes, and the blues in one room, or you can go into the greens and the blushes, or the greens, taupes, and terracotta. So those are kind of, the blues and the greens are kind of your jewels, and then they start bringing in the pinks and the caramel colors, the browns, and terracotta.
Well, truth be told, back in the 80s, I had seafoam green.
Yes, peach and seafoam green.
Peach, yeah.
That was a combination. Yeah, I had peach and seafoam green, and I'll never do that again.
Thank you. Same. I remember even having that seafoam green in carpeting too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never gonna happen again. Unless But I'm going to change. I was going to say unless I have a house in the Caribbean, but I wouldn't even do it there. I wouldn't even.
Yeah, that would actually be a pretty place to put that. You'd want the jewel colors there. That would be
You
pretty.
could. It sounds like what you're describing with the jewel colors is that these tones are mixed to be muted. Like you said, the gray gets mixed in with that for a different effect, different hue. Is that kind of what's going on?
Yeah, they're taking a version of every color right now and just altering it a little bit. It's really, I call it the mixology. So when we get into a space and they really like, say, a green or a blue, and it's just too dark for the space, we will lighten it. So we'll take the paint and start diluting it. And then we start diluting all the other colors to make it match. So this year, the colors are all already muted,
Mm,
which is interesting.
yeah.
They're really the softest level of color. It's like the blues are so blue, you don't know if it's a gray or if it's a blue. And
Okay.
then so it's almost like they all play together in the same room. You could almost mix them all in the same room within your fabrics or wallpapers or flooring. Um, and it all just looks like it was meant to be together.
With those jewel tones, seeing a lot of yellow. Is that a thing now?
Yellow's kind of coming back. Yellow's a really hard color. It affects
Mm,
people differently. Like
yeah.
my grandmother could not have yellow in her home. It
Mm,
literally made her nauseous. So some people are affected by certain colors. And I just remembered that anything came in my grandmother's house, if it was yellow, it was back out the door. She could not handle it. But yellow is one of those colors that you really have to be careful with. Um, I
by
don't
the way,
think.
to your point, you bring back a memory. Um, I wanted a gold yellow paint color, and it was in a extension that I put on, and it was so challenging to get the right tone. I bought tons of small cans of paint, putting them on the wall, even tried a faux finish because I got frustrated with that when faux finishes were in,
Mhm.
gave up on it, painted it like a very, very light gray, moved into another house and finally nailed the color. I went into another house and they had Chesterfield buff. We'll never forget the name. And it was just the right blend between the gold and the yellow. So it wasn't too gold, it wasn't too yellow, but I get
Mhm.
what you're saying. It's got to sit in the right
Yeah.
shade, hue. All of that has to be
The
just right.
lighting.
The
Yeah,
lighting.
and it's one of the hardest colors to match anything to.
Well, I
You
wish I would
almost
have
have,
known that.
yes, if you're going to use yellow in your house or gold, your best option for making the room work is to go with the opposite spectrum of color to work with it instead of trying to match it.
Okay. Would that be also known as a complementary color?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, it'd be complementary color for most colors, but with the gold, I would suggest doing something stark, like you could do yellow and blue or yellow
Uh,
and black.
gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
just, but total opposite extremes to make it kind of work.
Yeah. Because you're never going to match it.
Mm-mm.
And that,
No.
all right. What about when we're talking about color, seeing a lot of call it brown furniture, like very wood looking furniture, intentional to have that look. Is that a thing now?
Last year we started seeing a lot of unique wood pieces coming out in way of chairs, coffee tables. What you can get with a buffet and a sofa table or a chest anymore, it's the pieces are artwork, and they don't cost a fortune. It's just the new trend. So woods are really coming back. I'm gonna say this and someone will throw a dart at me, but I hope that the really dark leather sofas don't come back.
Mm,
They demand all the space in a room, and almost everybody has one. But when you put that in the room, it's just the sofa is just saying, look at me, I'm it, I'm the it factor. Nothing else in this space actually seems to work with it. But it's woods are, I have seen some of the most uniquely carved, shaped chairs that is solid wood, that they're just incredible. And I also think that the technology is really advanced now with the way that chairs and furniture are being made. I mean, you start putting AI in with uh, you know, piece of manufactured equipment that can carve and bend wood in ways that, or cut out wood in ways we've never seen before. I think we're going to start seeing a whole new, different perspective on furniture coming out.
Hmm.
But
What
I've seen
about
some really pretty stuff.
woods and metal, like the blend?
Oh, love it. We just we just had a bench delivered. It came all the way from Portugal. It sat in the Panama Canal for about a month. Finally got here a day ago. And it is so incredible. It's this gorgeous live edge wood. It's kind of like a walnut color on the top. And then we insert this, the leg is all metal and it goes all the way up to the top. So the wood wraps around it and that
Wow.
goes inside of it. It's just really cool, super heavy, but it's, the bench is just a statement piece, but we're putting it at the end of a landing of a staircase. We come down and there's this little sitting area by a French door that looks out to a garden. And I'm like, we can't just put a bench. Probably nobody will ever sit on it, but you need it to be, like a piece of the house. So we got that. And I mean, it wasn't that expensive. Seriously, it was like $7.99 or something. It wasn't super expensive, but it's a work of art. Just the
Mm,
bench itself is a work of art.
wow. It makes a statement too.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Portugal. Okay. That's where that piece came from.
Hmm.
Do you find that you have to go to that extreme to get a certain look and a certain quality?
I love what Portugal does. They have some of the best manufacturers there and craftsmen.
Mm,
Italy's another. And it's becoming more affordable. It's like 4 years ago, we had a dining table made for a client and had it shipped out of Italy. It's $400 for the shipping. The table was, I think, $600 for the
wow.
dining table. So you're spending like $1,000 on this dining table, and it's just such a contemporary fine line. But when you pull out the sleeves, it's like it's like a puzzle piece. They all come up and then they lay themselves flat. It's like the most coolest thing ever. Now
Mm,
they carry them here in Arizona. So it's like, great, if we just waited a little bit longer, we wouldn't have had to pay $400. But they now carry it here. And I think it's just because you can't get tables like that here. We have to have them imported in. But I mean, when you put it all together, it's perfect for 2 to 4 people on a daily basis. But when you're going to start having a big dinner party, you can easily just pull the table out instead of having to hide all your sleeves. I mean, the leaves
hmm.
and heavy. This just pulls out and it's just like a robot. It just comes out and lays right flat. And it doesn't even look like that when it's flat. It's just incredible craftsmanship.
In terms of the price of that table, that's
Mhm.
not really with the shipping, not really that bad when you take a look at what you might pay here in the
Mhm.
States for something
Mhm.
that gets the job done, but it's not even the same look and the same quality. Plus, to be honest, you can, say, yeah, that table I got that imported from Portugal. That came from Italy. And we're
Mhm.
not talking a difference of thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right. Some things, yes, but
Of
it's
course.
becoming so the cabinet company line that we're going to start carrying, um, it's out of Italy, and they just opened their second showroom in the United States here in Arizona. And so we have partnered with them. The craftsmanship and the price point, unless you're going to go over the top, the price point is so in line with everything else, but such a clean line.
Mm,
It's just incredible. They're opening up a showroom in Las Vegas right now, and they have one in Miami.
wow.
So now we're starting to see all these, European companies coming in here and opening up their showrooms, and I love seeing it.
It's got to be exciting because it adds so much variety to what you do. I can pick
Right.
from here, I can pick from there. All right, on the trends that we're talking about today. Um, wallpaper has had a
Mhm,
moment. It's a very long moment.
mhm.
And I've even seen wallpaper on ceilings. Overall thoughts about that.
Well, yesterday we did two wallpaper installations. Let me
Mm.
see if I can pull it up with my phone. One is so dramatic, you're not going to believe it. It's just absolutely incredible. Um, I don't know if you can see that, but see how dramatic it is?
That's wallpaper.
That's wallpaper. Isn't
And
that
and I,
cool?
I see that it's in the middle of the install, so it's not even done yet.
No, no, we were doing that yesterday.
Oh my gosh, that is for
Isn't
anybody
that
that's not
fun?
watching, it is the background is black. It's these very vivid flowers. It almost looks like a photograph.
Right.
In
The
pink
whole
tones,
wall.
the whole wall, pink tones, a little bit of like a purple. There's, from
Mhm.
on screen here, looks like a shade of red. Um, wow. I would never talk about, yeah, bold.
Yeah. Well, her inspiration was a purple chair. I bought her purple chair and she's like, now make something work, but I want something very vibrant. That's her Zoom wall. So when she's on call for work, that's her Zoom
Ah,
wall. And
hmm.
then we did, well, here's another one. Oh, no, it's the video. Never mind. I'm going to show you one that we did yesterday. Totally off the spectrum of what we've ever done before. We are making a enchanted village for a client for their, I mean, enchanted woodsy area. So this is the beginning of it. That's the wallpaper.
Oh my gosh, it looks like Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, I even created a looking mirror, and we decorated it. And let me see if I can. This is my team putting it together. And then we made this looking mirror so they can look at it, and it's just kind of crazy.
Now, these one wall installs with the wallpaper? Okay.
Yes.
Would you ever, I mean, anything's possible, but would you ever want to do more than one wall or the entire room with something as vibrant as that?
Yes, we installed a house 2 days ago, and the entire office, every wall is I want to say a tropical wallpaper. It's black and various different greens with a little pop of orange.
Hmm.
The entire office and the cabinetry. So the desk and the cabinets and the consoles are all black.
Wow.
It's pretty vibrant. Yeah.
Mm. You said tropical. You had me at you could do
Oh,
anything.
it was
And
gorgeous.
it's
It
fine.
just, yeah, my team kept walking past it and they put in two desks back to back. So we had so you could put four chairs all the way around it. And it's my team and we were, doing all the installs for all the rooms. And they're like, that's a perfect setup for us. And I'm like, well, we're not going to pay $3.9 million for this house to have a desk like that. But good
Mm.
choice. We're trying to I mean, duplicate that in our studio right now, but we don't have that large of a space to put a table. I mean, that's
Gotcha.
expensive.
Mm. While
So,
we're talking about walls,
mhm.
seeing a lot of, I guess I would describe it as upholstered walls, like suedes and oh, I don't know, well, like leather, velvet, things like that. Is that a thing now?
Yes, even hand laid feathers.
Say that again.
Hand laid feathers. So you can get an entire wall that's just feathers. Seashells. They're putting seashells, they're crushing seashells and putting them in.
Wow.
Wood, we just did a wallpaper. Well, I call it wallpaper, but it was all wood. It was just a thin veneer, but it was metallic oak with a silver inlay. And that was wallpaper, but actually it's just wood. And we put that on the wall. That turned out pretty
Mm.
spectacular. The house we won the award on, the wallpapers we put in there it was three-dimensional. It had bronze, cork, painted cork, and then gold leafing all in it. And so
Mm.
it's really you can see the 3D dimension, but we put that behind book inside the back walls of a bookcase with the lighting, and it just really pops the bookcase. Just
This
really
is this is why you hire a professional. Talk about the seashells. I'll make this really quick. So, backyard, retaining wall. wanted to put a hot tub in. I'll just dig out an oval shape in the retaining wall area, put pavers around it, had that professionally done. And now the pad for it, though, how can I do that? Oh, you know what? I'll pour cement and I'll put seashells in it. Be fantastic. Look great. So have a couple of friends come over, warm day in March. So let's get this done. Start working on it. Now it's dark out. Ran out of cement. We're mixing it by hand, by the way. No truck, by hand. Friend goes to Home Depot, gets more bags of Portland cement. He comes back. We, mix it up, put it in. Now it's dark. It's 10 o'clock at night. I go to work. I come home the next day. It was the most horrific looking thing you've ever seen with different textures of cement. And this just like it, I wound up putting pavers on top. You know what? It wasn't for naught because now I had a good solid base for pavers on top of the
Nice.
seashell cement. And no weeds grew through it because it wasn't ground. So get a professional to do it. Things that are out real quick. I'm hoping this is true. All white interiors out.
Yeah. And
Wonderful.
gray. Grays are starting to fade out now. Colors coming
Mm. Black kitchens, dark kitchens.
in. No, they're still in.
Really?
What they're
Okay.
doing now with them are they're mixing them. So they'll have the lower cabinets dark and the upper cabinets lighter. Or they'll do one piece in the house, like an anchoring cabinet, floor to ceiling that's really dark.
Gotcha.
And then the island to match it.
I was in a new restaurant recently, and a friend of a friend is one of like five owners of this restaurant, and they had these, I don't like space age looking light fixtures, like like Sputnik One satellite, just like. And somebody told me, yeah, don't tell them those are out. Are the space age looking light fixtures like funky, freaky looking? Is that kind of gone now?
There's a place for it, but I don't know what that place is.
Definitely not in this
Um,
restaurant because it didn't fit.
yeah, light fixtures are kind of interesting. People, I think, have really tried to get creative with them, but
Mm.
um, you can destroy an entire interior by putting the wrong light fixture. And if you go with something that's space aged and everything in the rest of the space doesn't quite meld with it, it's gonna kill it.
You just described the restaurant, and people have, I mean, it just opened like 2 months ago. People have,
Oh,
oh yeah,
yeah.
and big. They spent a lot of money,
Oh, yeah.
and people are actually. Usually, it's about the service and the food. They're talking about they should have called you. The interior design of it. They said it looks like there were five different designers all fighting because there's all different things going on, like different shades of reds, browns,
Oh my
Sputnik,
gosh.
chandeliers, fixtures, just wood here. It's a lot going on.
Hmm.
If you were to ask me, and I'm not the professional, but Steve, describe for me the type of design. Like, what is it? Is it medieval? Is it? I don't know. I've got nothing. I don't really
Oh
know.
my gosh, that's not good.
It's they're having an identity crisis because it's sort of fine dining downstairs. I mean, like, $70 steaks, $60 steaks.
Okay.
However, upstairs is a brewery.
Okay.
And the look on your face says it all. I think they're wrestling with it. Like, how are we going to, promote this? But the award-winning luxury look, you can have that. If somebody contacts you for a consult, how do we find you?
My website is theluxurylook.com and my email is Kristine with a K at theluxurylook.com.
Always
And I'm
wonderful
all over
talking with you.
social, so they
Yeah,
can they can reach out on social too. I'm everywhere.
gotcha. Yeah, as you should be. You've won some pretty big awards, and there's more coming. And always great talking with you. You make it fun, and you make it no matter what your budget is, things can be attainable.
Mhm.
You can make it work. You can make it work.
Yeah.
And right down to the 500 or even $900 table with shipping from Portugal sounds wonderful. So
Mhm.
worth it. I would never even think of that. I wouldn't even know where to get that. But I do
Right.
know this. I would love to tell people, yeah, that came from Portugal. It just
Yeah. That's a
Cool.
cool thing. I would like to go to Portugal and just go shopping and have, put everything on a car, go ship
Yeah.
and send over to my clients because that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. Great having you on here. Thanks again.
Thank you.
We'll catch up soon. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.